Desktop Dynamite, how's it going? Mitso, what's up, dude? Shane EAB, wow, we got a lot of great folks here already. Oh, good. My new chat is working. I love it. It is an invasion. I love it. I think it's time to start, guys. I think it's totally time to start. Let's get this started. Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome to the stream today. We've got an action-packed stream for you today. Again, I'm using a whole new format today, so things may not go exactly as planned, but you know that's the way it goes on an Amiga Bill stream. But I'm super excited. We have Phil Lang from Amiga1200.net, A1200.net with us today to talk to us about his awesome new Indiegogo. They're making new cases for the Commodore Amiga 500, and I tell you, Phil's and A1200.net, they've been around, man. They've been all over the internet, man. They've shown up in my feeds more than Kanye West and Donald Trump. They're awesome. So this has been a really great campaign so far. Dan Wood has done a great video for these guys. Phil was on Johnny from Amyton TV stream not too long ago, so he's getting around, and now he's here with us, which is super exciting. So you know, I'm hoping to do the stream like a little bit different than Johnny's and a little bit different than Dan's, to kind of mix it up a little bit, give them some variety, and expose them to as many people as possible, because this campaign is super cool. I got the kombucha here ready to go. We'll be drinking some kombucha. I gotta wet my whistle. I'm also playing around with the chat here. If I miss anything, guys, in the chat, I apologize. I'll tell you what. So we're gonna have Phil on in just a moment here, and if you want to ask him a question, can you mention me in the chat? I think that's the easiest way for me to see it. So if you do the @AmigaBill, that's probably the easiest way. Yo, Walker, what's up, dude? Let me just say hi to everyone real quick. Hans 2K, hello from the Czech Republic. Hello from New York. That's me. I'm in New York. Arnuj, what's up, dude? Hazemaker's here. How's it going? Retro Man Cave. Sanad. I miss you, Sanad. Hope all's well, my man. JW Blackboy. If life doesn't go as planned, if it does, you're doing it all wrong. Wise words. Wise words. All right, guys. So let's do it. Let's get Phil on. I've got some questions prepared for him. I want to give you guys like an overview of this awesome project that he's working on. So let me just check. I got notes. I even got notes today. It's this tricky to switch back and forth between the notes. Guys, I've got a max of 2 hours today. I don't know if Phil will be with us the entire 2 hours. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. We'll see how it goes. But I kind of want to keep the interview short, not too short, but I want to keep it to the point. Hit all the major points that Phil wants to hit all the major points that I want to hit, and answer any questions that you guys have. So yeah, so with Snow Dog, thanks for the sub, my man. Thank you so much. All right, so let me just give you guys, I'm about to have Phil on. Let me just give you guys a little bit of background about Phil. Phil is from A1200.net. Like I mentioned, they have an Indiegogo going on for new Commodore Amiga 500 cases. And now this is their third project. The first project was a Kickstarter for new Amiga 1200 cases. And I got one. I got one right here. This, and the type is backwards. I'll switch to an overhead cam here, guys, so you can see it. But yeah, I've got this amazing new Commodore Amiga 1200 case. This one happens to be gray. Let me dig it out here. It is just absolutely gorgeous. This was their first project, guys. It was these new Amiga 1200 cases. Phil's going to talk to us about it. Their second Kickstarter was for keycaps. So keycaps for the Amiga 1200. So, you're restoring your Amiga 1200. You got the new case. You want some shiny new keycaps. That was their second Kickstarter. And now they have a third project. It's not a Kickstarter. It's an Indiegogo. They're going to be making these cases, hopefully, if it's funded, for the Amiga 500. So it's super exciting. So you know what? Without enough with me, the blah blah blah. Let's get Phil on. Let's see if this works. I think you're on, Phil. Say hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, there he is. What's up, Phil? Welcome to the stream, man. Thanks so much for coming on today. Everyone, if you can hear Phil okay, I hope it's good. I hope you can hear Phil all right. It's hard for me to monitor the audio. If any problems, then let me know. It looks awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, the case looks awesome. Yo, Ms. Mad Lemon, how's it going? Everyone's here. Gunstar, how's it going? Phil, welcome to the crazy stream life of Amiga Bill. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Bill. That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, it's awesome to have you. And whenever anyone like yourself has a really cool project that's going on in the Amiga community, I like to support it. And this is certainly one of the coolest projects I've seen. I want to hit a few key points about your cases. Okay, so and about this campaign. Maybe I'll share some of my thoughts because I've been following it, and then of course you're going to share your thoughts, and we're going to get into more details. Now, I think I see like 7. There's a lot of reasons, but I see like 7 awesome reasons for having this new Amiga 500 case, and I want to get into the 1200 case in a minute as well. But let's focus on the 500 cases for now. I think this is a reason. There's a lot of good reasons why you would want one. First of all, if your old Amiga 500 case is damaged, if your old Amiga 500 case is yellowed, they have that flame retardant material in them, and they tend to yellow over time. So this is like a great way to replace your yellowed case. Now, if your case is perfect and mint, like mine are, fortunately, it's still a good reason to buy them, is that you can use it as like a second machine. Your new cases have a way that you can put a Vampire 2 inside of it. Vampire 4 inside of it, a standalone Vampire 4. You can also put a Raspberry Pi inside of it, and it can become like an awesome emulation machine. They also come in many colors, so if you want to like pimp your Amiga, they come in lots of different colors, which is really cool. Like the one I have here is this gorgeous gray color. It's an awesome gray color. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. They've got these grommets. I call them grommets, but they're receivers for machine screws. So like in the old school cases, the screws actually screw right into the plastic. So I tell you, like every time I take my 500 or my 1200 apart, I say a prayer because I know I'm doing a little bit of damage to the case. I don't even like usually use my screws because I can just pop it off easier without the screws. Don't want to damage the case, but in this one you're not going to damage the case because of the awesome screws. You got an awesome package deal. It reminds me a little bit of the Batman pack. You got the Scourge of the Underkind package deal, which I want to talk about as well. And it even has cool signatures inside it, kind of like the Amiga 1000 had. The original Amiga 1000 had all these signatures inside the case, and yours has signatures as well. And last but not least, we'll have your thoughts on this as well. But the overall thing I want to share with people is like the photos and the videos and everything that you've been posting look awesome, but you don't really understand how amazing these cases are until you have them like in your hand in real life. These cases are extremely well made. They reek of quality. They're just amazing. They're even better than the original cases, and they are not 3D printed. These are made from original molds, so it's like the original case, but even better. So those are my highlights. Phil. That's what I want to get to today. That's my overview.
Thank you so much. That's I don't know what to say after what you just said. It's actually David Pleasant also said what you just said, that the cases were maybe even better than the original ones. Every time we hear, me and the team, we hear someone saying that, we just don't know where to put ourselves, because that's really amazing. But the original cases are still the original cases. Even these new cases are actually original and legit replacement cases. But we surely put all our love and all the details in these cases, and that's the reason why they took actually so long to be made, because we wanted to provide to our backers and to a general Amiga audience the best cases that we could provide. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so right now I put up on the screen some of the molding that's happening. Now these are the 1200 cases, but as you can see, like I mentioned before, these aren't 3D printed cases. These are made from the original molds, and it's something that you don't really experience until like you see this in person. These cases are awesome, and I think it's better quality than the originals. I know like this 1200 that I have sitting here on my desk, when every time I open it, there's a snap and my heart skips a beat. And but the new cases are just rock solid, and those grommets are just, I call them grommets, I don't know what the right vocabulary word is. But Amiga Bill has a tendency to to mess up words, but there are these inserts that are just amazing, and it's so easy to screw things in and out. It's awesome. The quality is just top notch.
Yeah, what you see on the videos right now currently, that's the final step. Actually, that's the final part. I mean, manufacturing the molds is the it's the pentacle of the whole journey. It's the this is where the case actually takes real shape. When you have a project of this magnitude, and when you reach that stage, it means that okay, you're done. I mean, you molds are going to be there, and that's okay. What we're seeing right now is the molds being actually encased in their frame so that production can start. And when you reach that point, you already know that's okay. You're good. You're happy. Case are coming soon. And yeah, this is when the first time when the team and myself we saw those images, and we saw the molds, we were quite feeling good, because it's such a pressure reaching that goal, knowing that we're going to be able to deliver cases to backers, and these cases are going to be awesome after so many pressure, so many stress, because it's a one-time stuff. If we make any mistake, we just lose everything. Yeah, when you reach that point, you're quite happy. As a team member, you're just quite happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I can only imagine you guys put so much blood, sweat, and tears into it. I'm gonna not check chat as much, just because not respond to chat as much because I don't want to interrupt Phil. But Ms. Mad Lemon, thank you for the subscription. That's super kind of you, Ms. Mad Lemon, one of my all-time favorite Amiga YouTubers. That sub is amazing. Thank you so much. But Phil, you know what? We're jumping right into the cases, but you want to just take a step back really quick and just let people know like who exactly, who you are and what your history is with Amiga, and how whatever motivated you to start such an elaborate process as we see going on. This is something that takes a lot of time and dedication. So why don't you give us a little introduction about who you are?
Yeah. So actually on myself, I'm no one really special actually. I'm an IT specialist. I mainly I was importing and distributing IT hardware for almost all my life now. All my adult life, of course. So I'm VMware certified. I'm also a developer, and but basically all my professional life is when came through the Amiga, because when I was young, I had an Amstrad CPC at first, but of course I fell in love with the Amiga quite very fast. And this, like many of us, actually, this shaped pretty much my career. So yeah, this is how I became, tech savvy, I'd say. Always wanted to know more about computers and hardware, and that's the way how I learned to. First, I was learning how to sell hardware, and then after that, of course, I stepped up and became a hardware specialist and selling NAS, SANs, all this professional hardware stuff. And then when it comes to the story about the Amiga cases, frankly, at the beginning, I would say it was just like, let's say an accident. Like I went back to France for some holidays, and I spent some weeks hosted by friends, and they had some of my belongings, because I'm an expat. I left my country like 18 years ago. So I'm living overseas, and so of course sometimes I come back to my country, right? And so I visited my friends, and they told me, yeah, we still have a lot of your stuff in the attic. Oh, nice. Let's see. I totally forgot to know what I have. over there. So I went in the attic, and of course I saw my clothes, a lot of clothes, books, a lot of stuff, and my Amigas, of course. And so I had one A500, two A1200s up there, and games, joysticks, quick shots, floppies, C64 as well, an Apple IIe, which sadly totally died. A lot of stuff, really a lot of stuff. But my eyes automatically stared at the A1200s. But they were pretty in a pretty bad shape, and they were working. But one was totally destroyed. I don't know what I did when I was younger. So I think I drilled some holes inside. The case was in a pretty shape, a pity shape. So I thought, like a lot of us, I thought, hey, you know what? eBay, yeah, I'm going to buy a new case. I mean, in a better shape than mine. It came out after a couple of days. This was Mission Impossible. So, and I just forgot the idea. I said, okay, it's okay, no problem. And then a couple days later, one of my friends told me, hey, did you find your a replacement case for your old computer? And I told him, no way. This is like 30 years old, 25 years old. It's okay. No way to find anything like that. So he asked me two questions. He asked me, hey, but do you think there is still a lot of people using this computer? I said, yeah, I think so, because I'm crazy about it. Even I haven't touched one for so many years. I want it now. And then quickly after, he told me, yeah, but why don't you make one? Why I don't make a computer? No, why don't you make a new case? I told him, are you just crazy? And then a couple seconds later, I came back on what I just said. I said, yeah, but you know what? This is actually doesn't sound so crazy at all. Just let me give a couple phone calls. And after 3 weeks, I realized that this was maybe possible. And a month later, the first campaign started. The one who failed, there were two campaigns for the Amiga 1200 cases. The first campaign was set up on a period of time of 30 days in summer when everybody's in vacation, in Europe. I thought that was the very best time to prove myself if there were an audience for that or not. So that's the story about it.
Wow, it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing that you're just an enthusiast. You're an Amiga fan. It's just like I am. I've not an Amiga or a computer professional at all, and you saw a need, you had a passion, and you made it happen. So that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, actually, it's not really incredible. It's not incredible, it's very doable. The thing is, a lot of people actually tells me, "Oh, what you did is awesome," etc., etc. I'm nothing special. I'm no one special. I'm just an entrepreneur, and I'm just learning every day of my life. I need to learn something every new day. I need to learn something new. If during one day I don't learn anything, I feel my day wasn't complete. And so the thing is, when you have, it comes to me after so many years, but the fact is you can do anything. It's not really, if you can do it, it's about how you're going to do it, and if you focus on your objectives. And that's the rule for everything, not only for cases, but for everything in life, professionally, and also for hobbies. And that's a hobby, right? Yeah, it's nothing special really. So anybody, any of you guys watching this live stream with Bill, and I'm very glad to be with you guys, because I feel really honored about that. If any of you guys watching this right now have any idea and is thinking, oh, maybe I can do this for the Amiga, but it's too much complicated, It takes too much time. I could do. I don't know how to do this. It would cost too much, etc., etc. Um, Throw away all the bad thinking. Just keep the good thinking and keep go ahead. And if you fall down, learn from your mistakes, learn from you when you fell down, and try again. It's things happen like that. So it's really easy actually. It's not difficult. You just have to go ahead and try to surround yourself by people who have more knowledge than you in a particular area. I have no personally. I have almost no skills in 3D, right? I didn't design the 3D models for the new Amiga 500 cases. I didn't design the keycaps models. If I would design something like that, it would be total chaos. You know? So, but you have to surround yourselves by people who have more knowledge than you, because you cannot do everything by yourself. So this is how the Amiga 500 cases came. This is how the Amiga keycaps came, and you're going to see a lot more about the keycaps in the coming week. And this is how the new Amiga 500 cases are going to come out. Yeah, that's it.
Phil, do you ever think about becoming a motivational speaker? Because that's very, very inspiring. Those are very, very wise words. I never expected that, but yeah, it's incredible. That's you are amazing.
I don't think so. I think everybody is amazing. You know, amazing doesn't mean really much things. It's just about the journey. You know, sometimes it's not the destination is not really important. It's about the journey, and it's about how the way you put one feet ahead of the other to keep you go ahead, and to keep you going ahead. That's the one thing you need to keep is the main objective. Okay, so maybe the destination, you know, the destination, you keep your objective, but then stay humble and try to surround yourself with awesome people, and then they're going to help you to reach your goals. That's, you know, and the team and myself, we didn't do much things. It is you backers. I expect there are some backers watching the stream right now, I guess, right? So it's backers who made this possible, not us. Backers made this possible. Without backers, we couldn't do anything. So thanks to you guys, because you made it.
Very true. Very, very wise words, and very, very motivating words there, Phil. And you're so right. It's about assembling a great team of people, because no one can really do this on their own, right? It's just like when I'm in the film business, and it's very hard to make a movie on your own. You need to hire a great writer, great actors, great cameraman, great sound designer, and it's just, you need someone like the director, who would be you, just to bring everyone together and to motivate them and to put them in the right direction to achieve a goal. So that's very, very impressive what you did.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's awesome. It reminds me of like the guys, anyone who's doing anything new in the Amiga community, whether they're making a new game or whether they're making vampire cards. It's really a great idea, a lot of motivation and a lot of passion and a lot of love. So I have much respect to you and your team.
Thank you so much. I would say it's not really easy to actually do something in the Amiga community. Because there is quite some, there is quite some naysayer and some how to say, so some negativity sometimes somewhere. But again, when you have an objective in mind, negativity and naysayers are just bumps on the road. So you just go over the bumps and you continue on your way. So
yeah, you can't. I mean, they're the ones who are just sitting there complaining and not doing anything. You're the ones who are actually doing something, and you have to keep your dream alive and keep your eye on the prize. And a lot of times the naysayers are also more vocal, and you have to realize that there's way more people supporting you than actually being negative.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just
And we thank them a lot, because without these people we couldn't have done it simply.
I just drank some cayenne pepper, so I'm choking up a little bit here. Also choking up listening to your words. It's amazing. Well, speaking of the campaign, why don't we take a look at the campaign? This is the Amiga 500 campaign, and like I said, the first thing that I noticed, the first reason why people would want one of these amazing cases is because, like you said, their case is either damaged or yellowed, right? Because the original cases, like one we're looking at here on the Amiga 500 Plus, they have these flame retardant materials and they turn yellow over time. Now there's something called retrobrighting that a lot of people do, where they take a solution. It's actually like a hair bleach, and they put the hair bleach on it, and it turns it back to the color. But it works. It can work really well, but if you don't do it right, it can also come out bad. And then some people say that the technique makes the plastic more brittle. Some people say that even after you do it and it looks great, it can go back to the yellow color as well. But the new cases don't have any of that flame retardant material in there, so they'll never change colors, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When you get a pink case, it will stay pink. Absolutely.
And who knows? Maybe it'll catch on fire. Just kidding. No, I'm just joking. So that obviously is like first thing that comes to mind. Second thing is all the amazing colors. What kind of colors are you offering here?
So actually, the colors we have are the same colors than for the Amiga 1200 case, except two new colors. Not really new, because for instance, there is the original Amiga 500 like cream color, right? So this will be the original 500 color. The original 500 plus color. The fact is the Amiga 500 came in 4 different tones. Amigans might not know that, because it's not really common, but actually, even the Amiga 1200, actually, the Amiga 1200 came in 3 different tones. I suspect 4 different tones. A tone is a different shape of white, for instance. And the Amiga 500 came in 4 tones. This one I'm sure of, and maybe more. The reason is because there is 4 different cases for the Amiga 500. We have the original Amiga 500 case with the so-called chicken lips case, right? With the one that everybody cherish, and actually I do have one, and I'm very happy with that. And there is also the standard Amiga 500 case, right, with a larger badge. And we also have the Amiga 500 Plus case, and in between the more common Amiga 500 case and the Amiga 500 Plus case, we have an Amiga 500 who has the design of the Amiga 500 Plus case, although not being plus, right? And so there is 4 different tones of the original color. And the reason is that throughout the Amiga 500 lifespan, if I would say so, Commodore had more than one supplier for the cases. More than one supplier for the plastic pellets for the cases. Okay, so these plastic pellets were sometimes different, because the chemicals, the recipe of this plastic changed from one supplier of pellets from the other, and the brome inside the plastic itself, the compound that actually makes the cases getting yellow over time, and this chemical solution also changed and evolved depending which plastic were used. And that's the reason why what you just said, Bill, about plastic getting yellowed, and some Amigans seeing their plastic getting more yellow than others, or some Amigans saying, hey, mine is still pristine and didn't yellow much. And this is all because there were different versions of these cases and different plastics with different solutions inside. And so that's the reason also why retrobrighting is a bit dangerous, because you never know what version of plastic you have, and you never know how it will react. Um, your case could come back to its almost original color. It will never come back to its totally original color. That's a false assumption. But if you're lucky, it will come back very nicely. If you're not lucky, it will come back to something almost look alike, and then a couple months later, we'll get back to its original yellow color. And the reason of that is because the brome inside the case is not applied on the surface, but it's applied in the plastic itself. So we cannot do anything about that.
Wow, that's really interesting, Phil. I see a lot of people commenting, and me as well. I had no idea there were different tones of the cases and made from different materials. It makes so much sense why some yellow differently than others. A lot of people just assume that, oh, maybe there was a smoker right in the room, or someone smoked a lot, or they left it in the closet, or vice versa. They was in a bright light. But that I'm sure all those are variables as well. But that's really interesting. I had no idea. Thank you. I see someone asking about the clear case, and that is an option on the Amiga 500 case, because I think that was the most popular color in the Amiga 1200 outside of the original. Is that correct?
Sorry, I didn't get the sound.
Oh, see the translucent case. Someone was asking if that's an option, and I do see it here.
Yes, correct.
It is a beautiful, beautiful color, and I think it was one of the most popular ones for the 1200. Well, color. It's not really a color, but it's very, very cool.
It's not a color. It's a resin. The case is made of resin.
I see some more questions coming. Do you want to answer the questions on the fly? Maybe we should do that. I was going to save them to the end.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe I'll call the audible here, and I'll ask you the questions as we go along. It's a very good question, and one that I have as well. I know. So you've done the 1200 cases. You've done the keycaps, which I want to get to as well. But how about like a full keyboard? Do you guys have any plans to do that, or is there something like that available?
Yeah, actually, we do already have a new keyboard in R&D. So this keyboard has been in R&D for 2 years already, but it's not like saying that it's a bit funny, because it's not like in R&D every day, right? It's a long project, so our manufacturer working on it, when we tell him, okay, can you see that on the next week, this option or this option? So it takes quite a lot of time, because we are not on it like 100% of time, and we just studying options and possibilities. But for the technical data, I can tell you is that this new keyboard will actually fit the form factor of the keyboard will fit the Amiga 500, Amiga 1200, 2000, 3000, and 4000. The form factor is the same form factor as any keyboard you can see when you open your Amiga 1200 or Amiga 500 case, and will supply, of course, the correct connection. So, of course, for the Amiga 1200, you'll have a ribbon, and for the Amiga 500, you get a small 8-pin cable connector. And for the Amiga 2000, 3000, 4000, we might actually, because it's still an ongoing project, but we might actually propose a new external shell, so you can enclose this keyboard in this external shell, and then we'll provide the proper cables for you to plug this keyboard in the Amiga 2000, 3000, or 4000. Thing is, it will be PC compatible as well. So if you want to nag your coworkers at work, yeah, you can use an Amiga keyboard on your PC.
That was my next question, because a lot of people are going to be putting Vampire 4s in here, or Raspberry Pi, and on the Raspberry Pi you can connect a USB keyboard. So will the new keyboards have USB option as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
For instance, right now, for the Amiga 500 case campaign, we do have one of our partners, which is Edu Arana, and Edu did actually design a lot of hardware already for the Amiga, and I would actually, you can actually check on his webpage. He has a lot of devices Amiga or Vampire related. And he worked with us and he just finalized the design of a new Amiga Favorite keyboard USB adapter, so that you will be able to actually use your Amiga Favorite keyboard with a Vampire V4 standalone in the Amiga Favorite case, or also with an Raspberry Pi board. So using a new Amiga 500 case with your own original Amiga 500 keyboard, then putting inside a Vampire standalone, you have almost a new Amiga 500 computer, or even more, because the Vampire V4 standalone will be supporting a Saga AGA chipset, right? So
that's awesome. It gives people a lot of options, because like in my situation, I'm lucky, knock on wood, my Amigas are working, and I don't want to like take a keyboard away from a properly working Amiga. I don't want to destroy an Amiga just for a keyboard. So the fact that you're also making new keyboards is just awesome. It's exactly what we need, because I want to build this one up with either a Vampire V4 or a Raspberry Pi, or maybe I'll do like a Raspberry Pi in a 1200 case, and then maybe a V4 in like a 500 case. So there's lots of cool options. So are you going to do a keyboard that will fit the mold of the 1200 case and the 500 case? You said both, right?
Sorry?
You said you're going to have both a new keyboard for the 500 case and for the 1200 case?
Yes, this new keyboard actually is the same. There is only one, okay?
It fits both.
Yeah, there is only one, but there will be options in connections. So if you have an Amiga 500, for instance, we'll supply you with a cable to connect to the Amiga 500 motherboard. If you have an Amiga 1200 computer, then we'll supply you with a ribbon so that you can actually plug the new keyboard with the Amiga 1200. If you have an Amiga big box, then you will have the option to actually get a new external shell. We'll try to make the keyboard actually compatible with existing shells, but we are not yet 100% sure about that. So I can't really say right now. But if we cannot make it compatible with the original shells, anyway, we'll make an options to provide new keyboard shells. So that you can use this new keyboard as well on Amiga big box computers and PCs, obviously.
Wow, that's awesome. That's like the best news that I've heard in a very, very long time, because I was worried about that. I backed the keycap campaign. I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to find like an old broken 1200 that's completely not repairable and take the keyboard from that, because I don't want to, like I said, damage a working Amiga. So that is just awesome news, and lots of great options depending, regardless of your situation. That is awesome.
Actually, this was one of the most important steps, because we had to be successful with the Amiga keycaps campaign, because the keyboard frame, actually it's a keyboard frame, right? So the keyboard frame was sitting behind the keycaps campaign. If we wouldn't have made the keycaps molds and the keycaps campaign, what's the point of creating a new keyboard if you don't have any replacement keycaps to put on, right? And by the way, this keyboard will be fully mechanical. It's a fully mechanical keyboard. So it's sometimes we have backers on Amiga asking us questions about, hey, but why bother by going to cases first? Why you don't put everything up together at the same time? It's simply it's not possible because of the cost and the tooling costs. Manufacturing molds for Amiga 1200 cases, Amiga 500 cases, and keycaps. These are just crazy costs. Like it's not possible to do this. We have to do one step after the other. But slowly but surely, as you can see, we're coming up with new options and possibilities.
Yeah, it's awesome. You can't think of everything at one time either, and you have to take the profits from the first project and invest it into the next one. So yeah, it's better. It's also better you can get some feedback from the community as well, and think about new features that you want for your upcoming projects. If you just came out with everything one time, I think it would be kind of a mess. Someone asked about floppy drive buttons. Are you going to make some new floppy drive buttons?
So during the Amiga 1200 case campaign, we did provide one floppy buttons. But these floppy buttons is not compatible with, of course, with all floppy drives.
Mm-hmm.
So but we couldn't actually manufacture every floppy buttons within the same campaign. Again, because of costs. And we couldn't have all the options. So what I've in one of the campaign updates, I engaged myself to actually provide to all backers 3 new floppy buttons, and I'm actually, as well as new badges, new case badges. The story behind that is because the company that we've contracted to provide these new badges, they showed us an awesome prototype, and then when they came up with the final badges, it was like, oh my gosh, but it was too late. Badges were paid already, everything was paid already, and then so I engaged myself to backers, and I said, okay, guys. We were not really happy with the current badges, and we know that you need more floppy buttons. So this is what's going to happen. It will take time, but we're going to provide you with new case badges. So you may have seen them already, Bill, but these are. I have one here. That's, for instance, one of the sample badge from the new partner we have. So these are metal badges. It's really sturdy, and you cannot bend them. I mean, it's really very high quality badges, And the extra floppy buttons will come as well. I'm just funding these myself, understanding that floppy buttons, they're plastic as well, and they need molds as well. Small molds, CNC molds, but still molds. But I engage myself with backers, and I've told them I'm going to provide this, and this is actually coming. Badges are being produced slowly, but they're being produced because I'm supporting all badges myself as well. Some of these badges are already visible on the Facebook page of the team. In the photos, you can see the badges. More badges are coming, and floppy buttons are coming as well. I think by end of the year, we'll have all floppy buttons and all badges ready, and these will be shipped by post, regular post, to all backers, and by myself as well. I'm going to put these in envelopes. And but it will going to happen. It started already.
Wow, that's very, very generous and kind of you. The badges are super cool. I'm actually looking on your Facebook page now. It's in the photos section because I haven't seen these badges.
Yes.
Photos. Let's see if I can find them.
It's in the.
Oh yeah, I got. Let's go. Let's go to the internet. Internet engaged. Can I hide? All right. There we go. Wow. Oh, these are gorgeous. Oh my God, you have a Desire badge? That is so cool.
Yes.
Those are amazing.
So the badges you can see right now are the special edition badges, and one of them you can see the Amiga CD32. That's the badge that all backers who actually pledged on a special edition Amiga 1200Ks, a CD32 team, they will receive this badge, for instance. So these are not 3D rendered. These are real badges. That's the real deal.
They look gorgeous. I can't wait to get my CD32 badge. Those are awesome. That's a nice surprise. I wasn't really aware of that. So yeah, so we're actually right now, guys, we're on the A1200Net Projects Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, go give them a like. You can see lots of cool stuff they're doing. I love the Lukash badge too. He's one of my favorite musicians. That's awesome.
Yes. The Lukash badge with Jolene picture on the left. This badge, there is only 3 in the world because it's the badge who goes for the how to say pinkish translucent purplish case. The one we've offered to Deveni. Deveni got the spare, because when we manufactured this case, there is only 3 units, one for the backer and 2 spares, because in case of the parcel get lost, or if anything happens, we need to be able to replace the case to this backer. So there is only three units in the world. We keep one as a spare in case of our backer lose his case or broke his case. This was a very expensive pledge. It was a $500, 500 euros pledge,
Wow.
And we wanted to create something really special with the help of Lukash. And yes, this badge is absolutely awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the case as well.
that's awesome. So Dave Haney's got the special case. Yeah, and Lukash is, it's so cool how you make these special edition cases. It's really remarkable. And again, like I said, the big takeaway here, guys, is the one thing you can't see in the photos and the videos is just the quality of all the stuff. It's absolutely remarkable. Someone had a question. Oh, is there a way you can pre-order a case with the keyboard included?
No, that's not possible. For two reasons. The first reason is for instance, the case manufacturer is a totally different company than the keycaps manufacturer, and they are not even located at the same place, not at the same location. And when you manufacture cases and then when you manufacture keycaps, it's plastic industry. There is costs everywhere. I mean, someone sneezes in the factory, they charge you. So the thing is, we need to try to keep projects in line. When now we're going to manufacture this, and then now we're going to manufacture that. So actually, we could, of course, we could provide both products at the same time, cases and keycaps together. But to do this, we would need to manufacture cases, store them in the warehouse for I don't know how long, and then we would need to manufacture keycaps, then send this by sea freight to the warehouse, put them all together. That's a big company logistics stuff, and it's all about logistics costs. And as a team, we cannot do this. It's not possible. We are already so glad being able to provide you guys cases and soon coming keycaps. It's a very good question, very very valid question, and we would like to do it, but it's not feasible right now. The Amiga audience is too small still, I guess. So
that kind of leads me to a question I was going to ask later, but it kind of makes sense. So let's say you watch this video, you're interested, you want to back a 500 case, but you missed out on the Kickstarter for the 1200 case. Is there or will there be a place where someone can go to purchase all of these products if they've missed one of the campaigns, whereas the Kickstarter or the Indiegogo?
So for the Amiga 1200 cases, yes, this will be possible very, very soon, by end of the month, very early June, depending where you're located in the world. For instance, if you're in the USA, because obviously most of the people online right now come from US, so you'll have cases from Amiga on the Lake. So the cases will arrive, I guess, early June for Amiga on the Lake. And you'll be able to purchase cases directly from them. So Amiga on the Lake, there are wholesalers for North America. They might actually have more distributors in US for the Amiga 1200 cases. This would be awesome. But right now it's from Amiga on the Lake. They don't have any product page yet for the Amiga 1200 cases, but their cases are on the sea already. The ship is on ocean already. So it's just about time when you'll be able to get cases from Amiga on the Lake. For UK, it's from Amiga Kit, and from Europe, mainly Amiga Store. And I already know of one distributor from France, which is Amedia Computers. But yes, cases for Amiga 1200 cases are coming very soon. Regarding keycaps, this is a bit more difficult because keycaps are not so easy to manufacture. In fact, it's way more complicated process, and there is a very good chance, and frankly, I think they will actually not be easy to provide keycaps for stores. That's the reason why we're going to run another keycaps campaign by end of this year, so that you guys currently supporting the Amiga 500 case campaign are going to be able to replace your Amiga your keycaps for the Amiga 500 case keyboard as well. This will happen by end of the year, when all backers from the Amiga keycaps campaign will already reset their keycaps. We cannot run a campaign for keycaps before all keycaps backers get their keycaps already, right? So
I don't want to get too off track here, but once we're at this topic, I want to ask you, because I'm a keycap backer. Where are my keycaps? I'm just joking. What's the ETA on the keycaps? I know there was a little like a hiccup with the first run, and now the second run's coming. And so, do you want to give us just a little update on that?
Yeah. Actually, the main issue with the keycaps from the beginning, the keycaps manufacturing process has had quite some bumps. I'm not going through all the story here, but first our manufacturer made small mistakes in the design, and then we had molds producing keycaps that were V-shaped. Obviously, we couldn't accept that, and we don't really understand what happened, because the models we had were okay, but then by production the keycaps were V-shaped. So they needed to actually rebuild new molds, and this is one important thing, because you have to find very good partners. You need to have insurances, because if something like this happens while you are a campaign owner, a project manager, and it's all on you. So if we didn't secure this correctly, any other manufacturers would have asked us to pay again, and then we would have lost backers' money. But because we have contracts, and because we foresee these kind of issues, it's manufacturers made mistakes, manufacturers pays. Right. So they make new molds. So this took like 6 months extra, and then we had some issues actually getting labels printed on keycaps correctly. Let me open a small parenthesis about labels. You have to understand that Amiga keycaps were not made for the last 25 years. This is the first time in 25 years that Amiga keycaps have been made. The same goes for the Amiga 1200 cases, of course, and for the Amiga 500 case. But Amiga 1200 case and Amiga 500 case have two shells, and each shells having one profile. It's a big mold, of course, a big piece of plastic, but one profile. As much as complex it is, it's only one profile. For keycaps, it's different, because we have 18 profiles. It's not an Commodore 64 keyboard where you have like 6 or 7 profiles. The Amiga has 18 profiles. And when you mix all keycaps, I mean Amiga 600 and Amiga 1200, and then you have ISO keyboard and you have NC keyboard with the big fat return key and the small return key. And you have these keyboards that have two more keycaps than other that have 2 less keycaps. So it's a bit of a challenge, right? It has been a bit of a challenge, but we made it. And printing labels and finding the proper combinations and having a proper result with nice labels being printed took like eternity. I know you guys and backers cannot wait anymore for your keycaps. You have no idea in what stress and I am and the team. Marcel is like bumping me every day. Marcel is in the comments. He's currently answering in the chat to some backers' questions. And without Marcel, without Seppo, without Paul, and all the team, I couldn't do this. And that's the reason I've said before, you have to surround yourself with awesome people. And Marcel is burning me every day, telling me, okay, keycaps when? What's happening? Keycaps when? you know, you know, and he's right. And we cannot wait. But we had to push it back because as I said before, we just want to deliver an awesome product. There is no way, there is no reason to rush. The same way we did for the Amiga 1200 case, we had delays more than a year, but I think you have one in your hands right now, Bill. I think it's worth it because there is no way we could deliver a product that would not actually satisfy Amigan's expectations after so many years, after 25 years where almost nothing happened regarding cases, of course, we have awesome people like Jens, individual computers. We have Aeon technology. We have all these companies working and trying and doing awesome things for the Amiga. But we also had our shares of vaporware stories, right? So we couldn't. A case, is emblematic. Keycaps are emblematic because you don't touch your motherboard every day. You don't touch your hard drive every day. You touch your case and you touch your keycaps every day. So we had to provide you with something quality worth, and you're expecting something out of quality. So we just taking our times. But you're going to get keycaps news in the next coming 6 days, 10 days, because I'm currently waiting for the next keycap sample, and we're going to make a review about them. Photos, videos, you guys are going to see everything.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh, I think I heard it. Anyway, can you mute me, Phil? I think I hear myself on your.
Yes,
I hear myself. Can you just hit mute?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's better. Yeah, perfect. And we're fine. So anyway, Phil, I mean, you took the words out of my mouth, but as a backer, as someone on the other side of it, I really appreciate and respect the amount of effort you guys put into delivering a quality product. You guys saw a flaw with these keycaps. They were not up to your standards, and you said, you know what? We're not going to release a product that's not up to our standards, that's not good, that our backers aren't going to like. We're just going to wait and get it right. And as a backer, I would take that any day. I can wait. I can wait for quality anytime. And like you said, my Amiga 1200 came out in 1992 and hasn't changed. Like it's not going anywhere. I'm not in any rush. So just the fact that you guys did that and you guys put the whole thing on hold to get it right is really, really gives me so much faith in you guys and respect, and it makes me want to support you even more.
Yeah, that's we definitely looking for quality products. That's what we need to provide you guys with, great products, because we all waiting for so much, for so long. So we want something nice, and the same way I just saw in the chat section right now, Dragon AminoS just said that, hey, imagine the hype if they made it available with mechanical keyboard included. Gamers of other platforms would buy it to connect it to PCs as well. Yes, buddy, you're right. And this is something we aiming for, to provide something for the Amiga audience first, but to drag in guys from other platforms. And there is a couple of projects we are working on. There is one I already started to work by myself because I can do it. I still have partners in Taiwan. I was working with these companies many years ago. I still have connections, and I'm preparing something awesome. Hopefully you will find it awesome. I think it's awesome. I cannot say much right now, but I think you guys are going to like it. And with the team, we are also working on a couple other products. The one thing I could definitely say is that we are not talking plastic only anymore, because some Amigans saying, yeah, but you do plastic easy, it's easy. Plastic isn't easy, absolutely not, as you might understand now. And but yeah, we heard you, and actually there is other projects that we trying to provide that are not plastic only items or products, if I may say so.
That's
But we definitely trying our best. Yes.
that's super exciting because I see someone asked if they're going to do other campaigns, besides the cases, like modding actual hardware. I don't know if that's your department or not, but maybe you do.
Yeah,
You got some more tricks up your sleeve,
for
Phil.
the campaign, as you know, yes, there will be the extra keycaps campaign, of course. But for the other projects, I mean, for the keyboard, yes, there will be one because the, 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 the keyboard itself has tooling costs as well. Not as hefty as molds for cases. It will be less than that. But yes, there is tooling as well for the keyboard. For the other projects, there will be campaign as well. But the one thing I can tell you is that this campaign, although being for mainly made for the Amiga audience, it will drag people from other audiences as well. I cannot say much other than that, but we are trying to work on projects to provide the Amiga audience with new products with the help of other audiences, because we are just too small. Our audience is too small. There isn't enough Amigans willing to support us. I'm insisting on saying Amigans willing to support us, because there is a lot of Amigans, but they just wait, sitting there and say, okay, these guys are doing this. I'm just waiting for the product to hit the shelves. But if no Amigans are supporting us, the item will never hit the shelves. So we need your support, guys, right now. And for the next projects, because we are not so many, we are trying to provide new items for the Amiga audience, but items that are also going to solve issues for other audiences, so that we can have more backers, and then we can actually answer issues to more people. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't. That's a really good point. I don't know if people realize that as much, but I consider, no matter in any walk of life, like no matter what I purchase, I'm in the U.S. I've got dollars. Every dollar I spend is essentially a vote, right? Because you're supporting something that you believe in, and I understand people like being a little bit reluctant, not wanting to put down their hard-earned money at first, which is very understandable. But you know what? If you want these things to actually happen, you have to be a little bit proactive, because this is not a big market. It's a very small community, but very passionate community. And I can tell that it's a great point that you guys really need people just to like really believe in it and jump in and take a little bit of risk. I like I said, sometimes not with you guys. You guys have already proved yourselves, but sometimes you just have to take a little bit of risk and use your dollars or euros and spend them. And it's a vote. You're voting for something that you want.
Absolutely. The case you have, the case you have in your hands, it's just something magic. I have one here. So this one it's mine. It's the dark blue. Actually, it's not mine anymore, because I promised it to an Amigan who said, I'm dying, I want a blue, I want a dark blue, I want a dark blue. And, I said, oh my God, okay. I couldn't bear to receive his emails anymore. And I always think backers first. So I'm going to turn over mine for this Amigan. And I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to send it to this Amigans. But the chance we have to actually touch this, because backers made it possible, and that's absolutely awesome. This is because of you guys. This happened because of you, because you supported us. And the only thing I would say is, look what you did. It's here. It's when you support a campaign, actually, like for the Amiga 500 case campaign, you're not buying a case. Obviously, of course, you support the campaign to get a case as well and to replace yours. You're right, actually, absolutely, totally right. But the thing is, by supporting the campaign, you just help us, and you are just helping the whole community. You just the it's crazy, but when you think about it, when you put 79 euros or 94 US dollars in an Amiga 500 case, you're not putting 94 dollars in an Amiga 500 case. You just supporting the whole Amiga community. That's the goal. That's what we do actually. And then we do support. Of course, we manufacture the tools, the molds. I mean, which this is tools. The technical term is tools. And then we produce cases. And from this, you receive your case, of course. So again, I will never say thank you enough, and the team will never say thank you enough. It's just amazing. Yeah, just continue do this. After these Amiga 500 cases, there are awesome products, and I just would like to say that when you're going to see on what we are currently working on, you are not going to believe it. That's just what I wanted to say. It's not a new Amiga like you buy it from the shelves and you plug it and you play. It's not that, but still you're going to be amazed.
Wow, yeah, very well said. This is like the interview that does itself. You're amazing, Phil. Yeah, thanks, Yuri. Thank you for the sub, and Johnny, what's up, my man? Great interview with Phil. We talked about that earlier. Great to see everyone in chat. Thanks everyone for hanging out today, and thanks for all your support. And Sanzian, my main man Tim from the Future with 8-Bit, who's also a big. He does a lot for Commodore 64 community as well. He has a good point. He's like, wow, there's so many campaigns happening right now. Sometimes you do have to pick and choose a little bit, but if you have, yes. I say, like, if you have the ability and like you see the case, you want the case, go for it. You know, if you can, it's understandable if you can't support everyone. Because if I had unlimited money, I would. But you know, so pick the ones that you believe in and that you really want, and don't hesitate.
Absolutely. It's true. There is quite a lot of Kickstarter or Indiegogo or any crowdfunding platform. There is a lot of campaigns. Of course. A backer cannot support all campaigns, and just go for the campaign you like, the product you like, and it's also a matter of if you can support or not. You know, not everybody can do it, and we totally understand that. And this is why the miracles come from, because for instance, on the Amiga 500 campaign, we have a lot of people supporting the campaign without pledging for a case. They just do donations, things we didn't have for the other campaign. That's crazy. That's awesome. And these people are awesome. And we had even one donation of around $200 without any reward. Just someone wanted to support it. That's awesome. So it means that actually you can support the campaign even with $10 or $20, because you can do a donation if you want. It's not, there is no obligation nowhere. But yes, it's true. There is a lot of different campaigns around, and of course, backers cannot support everything. There is a choice to be made here. But when you don't support our campaign, it's not a big deal, because there is other backers that are going to support our campaign. So it's okay. It's totally understandable, absolutely, and it's perfectly fine, of course.
Well, speaking of campaigns, again, this is the interview that runs itself. Why don't we just transition into the campaign now? You've done two previous ones. They were both Kickstarters. Now this is an Indiegogo. Why did you pick Indiegogo, and what are the options that people have for the Indiegogo? You mentioned to me that there's some big differences between Indiegogo, yes, and Kickstarter.
Indeed. So the reason why we went on Indiegogo, mainly, the big reason mainly came from the Keycaps campaign. The Keycaps campaign, because I live in Asia, right? I personally live in Asia. And the campaigns are running under my name for several reasons, actually. And the thing is, on Kickstarter, you have to use the currency from the country where you are living in. So on the Kickstarter campaign, a lot of backers didn't really understand what are these SGDs, what is this currency, and why this and why that. And because it's dollars, SGDs are Singapore dollars, a lot of backers thought it was US dollars.
Right.
But the value between US dollars and SGDs are totally different. And so we had quite a lot of issues with that. A lot of backers didn't actually support the campaign because of that. And that's the reason why, one of the main reasons why we shifted over to Indiegogo. On Indiegogo, you can actually choose the currency you are running your campaign on. So that's pretty awesome. So of course we've chosen USDs because that's the we couldn't choose euros. Euros was not an option, but then we had USDs and we had 2 or 3 other currencies. So yeah, of course we go for USDs because this is something everybody's understand, right? So that's one of the main reasons. The second reason is because when you edit, this is a reason more on the team side, I would say.
Right.
Editing pages, creating the campaign page on Indiegogo. Indiegogo has an awesome editor. Let's just say that Kickstarter, I will stay polite. It's not that awesome. We take like 5 times less time to edit pages and put everything on Indiegogo than on Kickstarter. That's one of the main points. The one other advantage is that Indiegogo has nested rewards. And this is, again, an advantage for the team, not really for the backers. But the thing is, when a backer pledge on a reward, there is nested reward. So for us, when we migrate all the data through our reward management interface, everything is broken down already. We know exactly how many mugs. We know exactly the transaction to the database. It's a bit technical, but it's seamless. It's awesome. It's very easy, and that's just perfect. One other advantage is, and we think it's an advantage for the backers as well, is that when you pledge on Indiegogo, you are charged right away. On Kickstarter, when you pledge on a reward, you are not charged right away. You are charged only at the end of the campaign, when there is no more days left, and when the goal is reached. You backers are charged at this very moment. So you're going to ask me, hey, but that's better. Actually, not really. Over the last the 2 previous campaigns, we had like around 10% of backers who Kickstarter was not able to collect the funds from. So it's not backers' issues, and we understand, life and events in life and everybody. But sometimes you also lose your credit card. Sometimes you need to change your card, and you forget to change it on Kickstarter. And then sometimes there is so many reasons why. But then there is always around 10% of the amounts you see on the campaign page that is not collected on Kickstarter. As simple as that. Yet we still need to proceed with manufacturing, and proceeding and delivering. So it's a bit of a challenge every time. Of course, every platform also has a 10% charge fee. So it comes out that at the end of the campaign, you already have 20% less than on what you can see on the screen. So it's always a bit of a challenge. For Indiegogo, it's different because backers are charged right away. So when they support the campaign, they can forget about it. I need to pay attention because at the end of the campaign, I need to make sure that I have the proper fund on my card, etc., etc. On Indiegogo, there is no issues like that. And we think that's an advantage for us, but also for backers, actually. So all our next campaigns are going to be made on Indiegogo.
I did not know the technical difference like that. Very interesting. So but from a consumer's point of view, I understand the advantage of being charged right away. But what if the goal is not met? Is the money refunded? I'm thinking about like safety for people who want to back the campaign.
Absolutely. So actually on Indiegogo, we understand that some backers are a bit afraid or they don't really like Indiegogo platform. And we've heard stories about Indiegogo, but we've also heard stories about Kickstarter, right? So the thing is, I like to say that backers actually have to, and not only on our campaign, but on every campaigns on Indiegogo, every projects, they actually need to pay attention on how this project is funded. What kind of funding scheme the team behind such projects or the people behind such projects are under. So our campaign is under a fixed funding scheme, which acts exactly the same way as on Kickstarter. It means that we need to reach the goal to collect the funds. And Indiegogo plays the roles of the middleman here. So when you support the campaign and when you pledged, the funds are collected by Indiegogo platform, not the campaign, not us, not the team. So if for any reason we don't reach the campaign goal, Indiegogo refund all backers automatically. It's not by us; it's the platform who manage that automatically, and we will not get any of your funds. It's exactly the same way as Kickstarter, in fact, right? So all backers get refunded. And this only happens with campaigns that are set on a fixed funding scheme. Then you have the other campaign. These ones have their campaigns set based on a flexible funding. And this is where all the issues comes from and all these stories come from. Because when you run a campaign and when you need, say, $200,000 and you're running the campaign under a flexible funding scheme, what is happening is that every time a backer pledges on such campaign, the money flows and goes directly to the campaign owners. Backers pay right. Backers' contributions goes directly to the campaign owners. And Indiegogo does not play the role of the middleman. Mm. So, okay, that's nice, but what happens if the goal isn't reached? We don't know. I mean, campaign runners and the guys behind these kind of campaigns got the money already, they got the funds already, but they didn't meet the goal. How can they actually provide the rewards to the backers? How can they finalize their campaign? I guess they have several questions, but for us, because it's a so heavy industry, plastic injection, we cannot play with that. So we need to reach the goal. Absolutely.
Well, that clears it up. I see I'm looking right here at the Indiegogo page. You've got 61% of the $155,000 US fixed goal. So I'm hoping you got 23 days left. We'll do everything we can to get you there, but people can feel safe. If heaven forbid it doesn't get funded, they will get their money returned, no risk.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I don't want my money back. I want the case. But so while talking about the campaign, if you guys want to go support the Indiegogo, the easiest thing to do is just to go to a1200.net, and it will link to it from there. You can see there's a pop-up right here, and it will take you right to the Indiegogo. And so why don't we, Philippe? Why don't we talk, Phil? Why don't we talk a little bit about the different offers that you have? I see there's a basic perk, So it's
Yeah,
$94 for a basic case.
yeah,
And then as things get more expensive, you start to get more perks. Now, the thing I really like I said, my 500 is in really great shape, so I don't plan on replacing the case. I plan on putting either a standalone Vampire V4 in it, or a Raspberry Pi, or maybe both. I love the inserts that you have. You have a mount for a Vampire, and you have a mount for a Raspberry Pi, and you also have a mount for ports. So you can plug in your Ethernet, you can plug in your USB. Does that come with the basic case, or is that
absolutely.
extra?
Absolutely. Actually, the basic case comes with the Apollo Vampire Cradle. So the Cradle actually does support the Apollo V4 standalone and the Raspberry Pi V2, V3. So it supports both. And you also do get the port extender. So the port extender, you do with the standard case, you do not get the cables, the extender cables, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you do get yes, you get this one. That's the port extender. Obviously, the one you're seeing right now is the prototype version. It's 3D printed. Yours will look way better and way nicer and way more sexy, right? That's just the prototype version. But then you can clip inside these ports this extender cable. Yeah, that's pretty easy. No need glue, no need screws. Everything like on this photo. I'm just hanging all the thing with the SD adapter extender. The SD extender is the more fragile one, but still it hangs. So yeah, there is no glue needed here.
It passes the fill test.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that is awesome. Let's go. Cool. So that comes for the $94. You get all that included, except for the
Yes.
cables.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Next up, you've got Double Trouble. Amigaville likes Double Trouble, so you get two cases.
Yeah, yeah.
And then so you can choose. You get rubber feet. You get the mounting brackets for both cases, and then can you get like two different colors?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You're going to have two different colors. There is one thing that new backers might not know, that is that after the campaign, you are going to be able to connect to our reward management interface. And then from this interface, you'll find your reward, and then you can select your options. So for instance, if you want one case in dark blue and one case in the original color, it's within the reward management interface that you're going to specify these colors. And this reward management interface is used by you backers to choose your options. The interface is also used by us, the team, to actually manage production and everything. And the interface is also used by the manufacturer. So we've developed this tool to ease process between your choices, guys, our way of handling everything, and our manufacturers to actually produce what you've decided to, the options that you've decided to get, guys. So we had to develop this online tool, and this version is the second version, and it's made by our friend, our team member, Paul H. And he's a way better developer than me, because I've done the first version for the Amiga 1200 case, and I said, okay, enough. Hey, can you help me to make another one much more sexy? And he did it. So you can have a different color for each case, but then you can have a different color for the top shell and a different color for the bottom shell.
Wow.
So you can have a white top and a black bottom, or even better, a black top and a translucent bottom, and then you can put LEDs in your Amiga 500 case. The options is up to you. You can decide whatever you want.
That's great. I used the older version of that software when I backed the keycaps, and let me tell you, like it comes in really handy because, like you said, you have so many options. You can get half the case one color, half the case another color. The software is just awesome to make your decisions and make it clear because you have so many options. It can be a bit overwhelming.
Yes, actually, for the keycaps, if memory serves, between all the colors and all the language layouts and the special keys and the standard keys and mixing all the colors, there is more than 1,300 different versions possible.
Wow. Wait, how many? How many was that?
1,300 something.
Wow.
I don't really remember precisely, but a lot.
That's amazing. My man Hazemaker has a really great question. He's asking, can you buy mounts for the A1200 cases? He's got an IDE'd SD card adapter that just hangs loose above his motherboard on his original 1200 case.
No, no. That's the quickest and easiest answer is no. Maybe later if we find a way to, but right now, no.
Okay, cool. Thanks for answering that. But it's something to think about. That's a great idea that he's got. So yeah, we're looking at the inserts right now. We're looking at a video of the inserts that I want to view for so bad. It's making me jealous. But let's go back. Let's go back to the campaign. Coming up after the $183 perk is we have something pretty special here. This is the Scourge of the Underkind package. My main man Wayne Ashworth is making the graphics for this amazing new game. It's kind of like a combination of Chaos Engine, maybe a little alien breed, some gods. We were looking at some of the footage during my last stream. It kind of reminds me of the Batman pack a little bit. Do you wanna talk about this perk at all?
Yeah, I'm going to start with what you just said about the Batman pack. The Batman pack is very recognizable because the external box of the computer itself had an external sleeve about Batman, right? So what we're trying to do with this Scourge of the Underkind Collector's Edition is that we are going to have the case box itself, the one you're going to receive, will have an external sleeve like the Batman pack had, but the sleeve will not be about Batman. The sleeve will be about Scourge of the Underkind. So we're really trying to reproduce here something that was absolutely awesome back in the days, and we've also talked about that with David Pleasance, and we've told him, we're trying to to build on something you've made before, and that's what we're trying to do with 11 hours games and Wayne Ashworth's awesome graphics here.
Yeah, Wayne's artwork is amazing. I'm a huge fan. Actually, I may have busted out, but he sent me a pack of some of his artwork, and I think I'm the only person right now that actually has a Scourge of the Underkind poster signed by Wayne Ashworth. It's awesome. I feel very, very lucky and privileged to have it. But I know the Batman pack is something we didn't have here in the U.S., unfortunately. So this is kind of like a chance for us to get something, to kind of experience that Batman pack a little bit. So it's going to be a physical release, right? There's going to be a physical release of the game with a box, and there's also going to be some extra features and extra levels, a special edition of the game itself, if you back this, correct?
Definitely. The game itself will be different than the one that will be publicly available by 11 Hours Games. Our version will have extra levels, extra monsters, and an extra boss. And of course, we deliver the game on a CD-ROM, and the game also has an introduced soundtrack. So we'll deliver the soundtrack audio album as well. So recently, and thanks to Marcel in the team, we also going to add a floppy version of the game.
A floppy.
So yeah. So the floppy version has been added last week in the package. So it's not anything. We just added a floppy disk inside the package as a one more extra thing.
Now,
Of course, sorry.
Is that only for backers who will get the floppy edition?
Actually, whatever happens, we're going to manufacture 100 copies. But as a backer, you can get the game and this awesome collector's edition at an early bird price on the campaign. After the campaign, when the campaign is done, this awesome package will not be available at an early bird price anymore. We will manufacture 100 pieces because we already have around 18 backers right now who supported for this package. So we're going to make it. We're going to manufacture it. That's for sure. But then we're going to manufacture 100 pieces. So the game deserves it. I mean, the game is absolutely awesome. The music is awesome. The game, I have no superlatives. It's a AAA game for the Amiga, and we are absolutely so happy to be being able and having the chance to provide a physical edition for this game with an incredible package with awesome freebies like the mouse pad, the mug, the CD album, the audio album, sorry, and this is and the big box game. I mean, the box of the game itself is crazy. So yeah, we're really excited about doing this for this game. It's just actually awesome. For a long time, for the Amiga 1200 case campaign and then for the keycaps campaign, we wanted to have a game cover on one of our package, and we tried to have Black Crypt. Black Crypt wasn't an option. Then we tried to have Pinball Illusion. We couldn't do it. We had some talks, but that was not possible. And we've contacted Sony because Sony is the owner of the IP of Shadow of the Beast now. No way, no games, and we were so sad. And then Scourge of the Underkind came, and yeah, okay, it was a quick decision to be made, and we're very happy to have it. So that's the only physical version of the game you will ever have.
Wow, and like you said, well, I'm just showing off my poster here because I feel really lucky to have it. This is a gift from Wayne himself, who did the amazing artwork in this game. And you said it's a AAA game, and I believe it runs on all Amigas, even OCS with 512K RAM. I don't know if you need a megabyte. I should check that, but it will run on all Amigas, and it looks like a first-class AAA release. It looks just as good as like a as a Psygnosis release or Team 17 release back in the day. It's really exciting. My man Wayne hooked me up with this awesome poster. I love this poster so much.
I'm just jealous of your poster.
You're a little jealous. All right, I'm glad I made you a little jealous there. And people might be jealous of this beautiful case too. But this is just awesome. And again, let me just take one quick break here. Thanks to everyone in chat. It's just awesome having you. Charles, thanks for the follow. Riot Retro Gaming, thank you for the donation. That's super kind of you guys. You guys are awesome. Ms. Mad Lemon, yeah, tell Robert I said hi. I'll see him Thursday night. Wayne Asworth says 1 meg, so you need 1 meg of RAM to run Scourge of the Underkind, which is fine. Yeah, which is fine. Like, who doesn't have 1 meg these days, you know? I can't wait to run it on my 500. Let me take a look at the perk here. I think okay, got it. I have to log in for that. I believe. Let's see if I'm trying to navigate my mess of thousands of files here. I think I have a cool picture here of it. Yes, I do. Here we go. There we go. There's the Scourge of the Underkind Collector's Edition. That's everything you get. It looks awesome. I see the CDs there. The CD case looks awesome. The box looks amazing. The mouse pad. Oh, and there's the floppies. Awesome. The color is amazing too. The color of the case is great.
The case will be of a special dedicated color, of course. Absolutely.
What's up, Johnny from Amiton TV? The Amiga Stream Machine is in the house. What's up, my man? Great to see you as always. Great to have everyone here. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. We are with Phil from A1200.net. Phil and this team are running a new campaign. It's an Indiegogo campaign for new Amiga 500 cases. They're also the ones behind these gorgeous Amiga 1200 cases and the soon to be released Amiga 1200 keycaps. They've got a lot of irons in the fire. This is super exciting. I had no idea there was a lot more to it than just your Amiga 500 case campaign. There's a lot more the future has to offer. Let's go back to the campaign page because there's just a few more things we gotta touch on. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to wrap it up in about 20 minutes because I need to get to a meeting in the city. Believe it or not, I'm not a full-time streamer. Believe it or not, I have to go. I gotta go pay the bills. I gotta go pay the bills so I can support your Indiegogo.
That's very nice of you. Thank you so much. What are you doing here? Why are you still here?
What am I? No, we still got some time. Don't worry about it, Phil. So there's the early bird Scourge the Underkind perk. We've got a Vampire 500 late bird perk. Tell me about some of these Vampire perks because I've already seen the Vampire Cradles. So what's going on with these perks?
So actually, the Vampire special editions do have the decable extensions.
Oh, they have the cable extensions. Got you.
Yes.
Awesome.
Of course, the case itself automatically comes in black Vampire. You get the case badge is the Vampire case badge, of course, and you also get a mug for the Vampire and a mousepad, a Vampire mousepad. So that's the details of all the items you get with the Vampire Special Edition, the Apollo Special Edition.
Awesome. I love my friend Manuel. He designed the logos for the Vampire guys. He came and gave a great presentation to our Westchester Amiga user group, and the Vampire designs are awesome. I love the Vampire A1200 case too. That's gorgeous. The black and the red, very Guru Meditation. Absolutely. You can tell, but I have a thing for black and red. So moving on.
Actually, the Vampire early bird, late bird, and the classic Vampire Amiga 500 Special Edition perks are all the same. It's just that the pledge level is different.
Understood. So you get the same thing, but it's a different level of pledging?
Yeah.
Understood. I'm looking at it right now. I found it. It's a sweet black case. That mousepad is awesome. I love the coffee cup. That I could put my kombucha in there. All the guys, everyone who watches my streams know I drink this fermented tea during my streams. It's so I bet it would go well in that Vampire mug or my coffee in the morning. That's awesome. I could see some like black and red keys right there in the black case. That's awesome. All right. Moving along, so we got the Vampire early bird and late bird. What else do we have here? I see some bling bling here. What are these cases? I see a bronze, silver, and gold case. I've never seen these in person. Are these metal cases?
So actually, these are electroplated cases. So they're plastic cases as well, of course. But then they get a special treatment. We have a special partner, a company that is who do electroplating on different products and items, and they also do electroplating on plastics. Electroplating is the technology of actually covering plastics with metals. So you get a layer of metal on top of your plastic. It's a pretty complex procedure. Takes quite a lot of time. And for instance, in the gold version, you do have real gold inside, because to get the gold color, there is nothing best than gold. So this also explains the pledge level. Like for instance, the gold edition is at 299 euros. That's because there is real gold inside. There is no secret here. We get charged like crazy for these cases. And we've made the Amiga 1200 cases the same way, and the gold versions do have, when I say there is gold inside, it's not enough for a gold bar, okay? But we're talking about like micrograms just to make the color worthy. Yeah.
That's awesome. They look sweet.
Yeah, these are electroplated cases. they are not meant for heavy use, right? I mean, don't expect to if you scratch the case, then you're going to see the plastic underneath, okay? But they're not painted; they are electroplated. It's real metal on top. Yeah.
That makes sense. And when I first looked at it, it looked like it was actually a metal case, but it makes sense that you have the plastic mold and then you electroplate it. Thanks for
Yeah.
clearing that up. All right, and last and not least here, I see there's a stretch goal, a new Amiga Tank Mouse. Now that is something that I have that has worn out. I have an old yellow one. The ball doesn't work so well anymore. The contacts are worn out. The button is shot. So tell us a little bit about this new Tank Mouse.
Yeah, the tank mass shells. That's our stretch goal. So the stretch goal seems to be a bit far in the campaign right now because we still have 23 days left. If I remember well,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to reach the goal. We know that there is a fairly amount of backers that are still going to support the campaign because we get emails and messages every day. But the stretch goal for the tank mouse seems a bit far, but it's still reachable if we get enough backers that are going to support the campaign. And the thing is, this tank mouse shell, every backer is going to get one. And if, for instance, if you pledge for 2 cases or 3 cases, you get 2 or 3 cases in your reward. You're going to get 2 or 3 tank mouse shells altogether because it's 1 tank mouse shell for 1 case. And then when you choose the colors for your case, your tank mouse is going to match the colors of your cases as well. So if you decide to get a pink top shell for your Amiga 500 case with a red bottom shell, so your tank mouse shells are going to match those colors.
That's awesome. So that makes it a lot of sense. So if the stretch goal is reached, even if you ordered just a regular case for the basic, I think it was $94, you'll get a tank mouse case. So if you pledge the $94, you want 1 case, you'll get the tank mouse case just as a bonus, and it will come in the same color as the case that you choose.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Wow, that's a really nice perk. Now it's just the shell of the mouse, right? It's not new electronics or mechanical.
Yeah.
Buttons.
There is no electronics in the mouse.
Okay. Well, that's an awesome perk, man. Like I said, I've got a few tank mice that are pretty yellowed up. So that's a really nice stretch goal. Yeah. So
it will be an easy swap. You just remove your old shell plastic, your old tank mouse plastic, and you put the new one on it.
perfect. Yeah, it's easy just to pop out the guts. It's pretty simple in there and pop it into the new case. That's awesome. And Phil, I'm gonna start winding this down now. I would like to. You've covered everything I could have thought of asking you. I'll check my notes really quick. Oh no, the one last thing. A nice little perk. We all remember the signatures and the dog's paw print on the inside of the Amiga 1000 case. And
Yes.
these cases will also have some nice little perks with the signatures. It looks like we got Dave Haney, David John Pleasance, R.J. Michael, Ron Nicholson, and Jeff Porter all on the inside of the case.
Yes.
That's awesome. I wish I could. I wish I had my macro lens here, but I can tell you that these 1200 cases also have some signatures, and it's a really nice touch.
Yes. There is one more in the 500 case that is sadly late.
Start again, Phil. It was very kind for Crazy Levanc to follow, but our only Amiga music was playing over you. So if you could start again.
Yeah, okay. I've just said there is one extra signatures in the Amiga 1200 case. It is of late Dave Needle that we've decided to because it was a difficult choice to actually get to Dave family and to request their authorization, and then go over this sad happening, and so without disrespect, we just didn't add Dave. We were so grateful to have Dave's signature in the Amiga 1200 case. We just decided to actually go forward, and it was quite some discussion within the team, but then ultimately, we went that way. Yeah.
Understood. Yeah, Dave Needle, one of the originals from Amiga, and I'm fortunate I never got to meet him, but my friend, Adam Spring is a close friend of him. I have lots of friends who just have nothing but extremely positive things to say about Dave, and he seems like a great guy. So that was a nice tribute you guys did to him.
Yeah.
But Phil, what else, my man? Does anyone have any other questions? Phil, is there something that we didn't cover that you would like to add?
Myself, actually, I would like to thank again all backers and all Amigans supporting us and supporting the campaign. They're not really supporting us; they're supporting themselves, and they're supporting the Amiga community, and that's awesome. In France, we have a saying when we say that we never better served than by ourselves. And so I think that the Amigans just cannot wait anymore, and they helping themselves by helping us to make these items and to make these products. So we are just so grateful being supported by awesome people like you guys, and that's the reason why we want to provide more items, and we'll go forward. There is one question I saw in a forum today that of course I knew it, but I was almost how to say shaken by this fact that an Amigan could actually understand this. And this sentence was he was saying that these guys, they make new molds for Amiga 1200 cases and for keycaps, and now Amiga 500 cases. But at looking more on this, why big companies didn't decide to do this before? And then he answered his own question. He said, because no one would want invest so much money in a project with a so small audience without even being sure of any kind of success, because every company is waiting for return over investment. They have shareholders, they want to make money, so there is nothing like that which is going to happen within our community. So that's the reason why Amigans supporting these campaigns, because they can decide for themselves, and they can we simply just give the words to the Amigans, and we say, okay guys, we can do this, and let's do it together, and that's what we're trying to do. So this comment on this forum is very deep, has a deep sense, and if we want something to happen, we have to do it by ourselves. No big secret here. And the team and I were very grateful, guys. You have no idea.
Well, the Amiga community is very grateful. It is a very small but very passionate community, as I've got to learn over the past many years. And we really appreciate all that you guys are doing. And like you said, this is, people have to understand. I hope you're getting some financial compensation for this, for all of your time, but these are really passion projects. You guys are Amiga fans. Like you mentioned at the beginning of the interview, you're an Amiga fan who had a dream and wanted to make something magical happen for the community. So it's really important to support campaigns like this, support anyone who's making a new game for the Amiga, anyone who's making new cases for the Amiga, anyone who's doing anything new for this machine that's almost 33 years old now. It's amazing that it's still going strong. And in some ways, I feel like things are happening in the Amiga community now that it's even, in some ways, it's even better than like 1992 because we're all connected now. It's incredible.
Absolutely. We're talking about retro computing, and we're talking about the Amiga Classic line of computers. And so we're making cases for 25, 30 years old computers. But actually, what the Amiga community is doing, is doing way more than that, because what we're doing right now is that we are securing the Amiga Classic line of computers by getting modes and getting tools to save us with replacement parts for our computers. Because I'm pretty sure that, and most of you guys already know that our computers they already have 30 years old. They're not going to survive 30 more years. This is not going to happen unless we do something about it. So what we're doing right now is that we are currently securing the current Amiga audience. Once this audience is secured in terms of how many Amiga computers are still being able to run today, and how many Amigans are still here today, and we can maybe even we get this audience a bit slightly bigger, because there is way more Amigans out there that don't have any computers anymore. Just think about this. How many of these guys had an Amiga when they were young, but they don't have one now because they sold it, they forgot about it, and now they are within their 40s like us, and they say, oh, you know what? I had so much fun with this computer. I really would like to get one now. It's nearly impossible. eBay prices are getting crazy, and so there is new projects for motherboards, replicas, Amiga 4000, Amiga 500 in Germany. They made a new motherboard for Amiga 500, a replacement motherboard for Amiga 500, which is of course compatible with the new Amiga 500 cases we are going to produce. So just think about that. New motherboard, new computer, new keyboard, new keycaps. Hey, new Amiga, new computer. You have it, baby. So what we're doing here is that we simply securing the Amiga audience that we have right now. And why are we doing this? It's because when we have a fan base, a strong fan base, then we can think of the future. Because then we can think, okay, let's think about OS. Let's think about, okay, what was Amiga? What did Amiga back in the days? What was Amiga that Atari wasn't? What was the Amiga that MSX wasn't, or any other personal computer wasn't? Because Amiga was a game changer back in the days, right? It was the first computer, the first personal computer with a multitasking, a preemptive operating system. That, you know what, 1984 just blew your mind. It's not future. It was not future in 1984. It was Mars or Venus. It was another galaxy. It was more than future. But sadly, and we all know what happened, some people did wrong decision, and they wasn't able to actually bet on this advantage, and we lost it all. But it was a game changer, and I still keep saying that nowadays, today, every day, we can still provide a game-changing technology. It's not because there is Microsoft or Google or some big names out there that we cannot provide anything new that would be game-changing. Facebook isn't so old. Facebook has 8 years. They're billionaires now. Tomorrow, another billionaire will be made because he will have a crazy idea. So what I'm saying is, by securing the current Amiga base and keeping you guys Amigans and believers and lovers, because we are all lovers, we can make something happen, in the future, but only by strengthening the current user base we have.
I'm kind of speechless there, Phil. That is like the best Amiga motivational speech I think I've ever heard. Those are some. I really have nothing to say because you said it all there. But I heard one really great quote. I think it might have been Manny that said it. He said, I'm not sure who said it, but they said, "Commodore is dead, Amiga is alive."
Yeah.
So I think that kind of sums up what you said. I'm not even gonna try and respond to it because it was so amazing. Those were very, very wise words. I think that's a great place to end it. We have to wrap it up soon. There was one more question from my man Riot Retro Game. He wants to know if there's a way that you can get the caps. Sorry for my phone. You can get the badges without damaging the case. Oh, the badge? How do you get it without ruining it? Can you put it on the new case without ruining it, or once you put it on the case, is it stuck?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Oh, Riot Retro Game was asking about the badges. Once the badges are applied to the case, is it final, or is there a way that you can preserve the badge?
No, you can remove the badge as well, of course. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So actually, the badge they have a 3M sticker behind. So you just peel off the sticker right like that. You put your badge. So, but the sticker is actually strong, right? But you can remove it. You can remove it, of course.
Perfect. All right, Phil. Let's just to wrap it up. Why don't we just tell people how to support this campaign? If you go to a1200.net, you see this awesome pop-up right here. You click on it, and it'll take you to the Indiegogo campaign. There are 22 days left in the campaign. They're 61% of the way there. And we gotta get them to the finish line because these are really awesome cases. Is there, and if someone wants, again, this question keeps coming up a lot. If someone wants to buy a 1200 case like this one here, if they missed the campaign, is there a way they can buy it?
So you mean for the Amiga 1200 cases?
Yes.
Yeah. So the Amiga 1200 cases are going to be available for North America through Amiga on the Lake. I guess by very early June, because their cases are currently sailing. They by sea already. But the boats, the ship takes between, like, if I'm not mistaken, like 5-6 weeks to reach, and then they have an extra week for customs and everything. But then I guess that shortly Amiga on the Lake is going to set up a product page so that you'll be able to see that. So yes, cases will be available from Amiga on the Lake from North America, and from UK it will be through Amiga Kit, and for Europe from Amiga Store.
Awesome. So if you missed those Kickstarters, you're not out of luck. This is really exciting. Phil, this is amazing campaign, amazing interview. You made it very, very easy for me. You're very well spoken. You have lots of great ideas. Your passion is just awesome. So guys, you want to support this campaign, please go to please go to a1200.net. It's all there. And every dollar, every euro you spend is a vote, and you're voting for some really great guys here, and a really great campaign, and you're voting for the entire Amiga community. Phil, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks everyone for joining today. It was awesome, guys. We're not gonna do any raids because I really got to run. We're just gonna kind of end the stream here. Phil, good luck to you. Good luck in the remaining 22 days. I'll do whatever I can. I'll share it on the social media to help you get across the goal. I'm sure if people follow you guys on Twitter and YouTube and on Facebook, A1200 Projects, right? Is that what it's called on Facebook? Let me see.
Hello? Yeah?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm looking for your page.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Bill, for having me, and that was absolutely an awesome interview. And I always like to share my passion for what we do.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Me too. Tomagen, thanks for the follow, man. So here's the Facebook page, A1200 Projects.
And that's it. The Facebook page.
Yep. So give it a like, and you can follow the news there. And most importantly, go give him a back. Phil, you are the man. It was just an honor and a pleasure to talk to you. Your passion is just amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And thanks everyone for hanging out and for all the support as always. I'm not sure when my next stream will be. I'm thinking it could be possibly a Friday night stream, but I'm starting a new TV show this week, and then I go right into Vintage Computer Festival East, where my buddy Anthony and I from Guru Meditation are going to have an Amiga exhibit. So there's a lot of preparations to do. So I'll try and stream again soon. Stay tuned to my Twitter. It's at The Guru Meditate. Facebook is The Guru Meditation. And you can get updated on my next stream. And yeah, Phil, thank you so much. This is absolutely incredible day. You made my day coming on the stream today. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It was awesome being with you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And like I said, I'll put it up on Guru Meditation YouTube as well.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Awesome.
Thanks.
All right, thanks everyone. Take care, and Amiga forever.
Shine